and gentlemen, and welcome to the Johnny Goodtimes Quizzo Spectacular. My name is Johnny Goodtimes. Here's how the game is played. We're going to go 4 rounds, we'll have 10 questions in each round. The first round is the easy round, all the questions relatively easy. Round number 2, the 50-50 round. Round number 3, the wild card round. And round number 4 is the impossible round. It is a written test, not an oral exam. Whether you're playing or not playing, please do not shout out the answers. Please do not shout out the answers. Also, the use of cellular telephones, Blackberries, iPhones, and other electronic devices is strictly prohibited. Put a team name at the top of your paper. Please put a team name at the top of your paper. And let's begin. Question number 1. In the U.S., the first Harry Potter was called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. What kind of stone was it in the British version? Number 2, what is the only number whose letters appear in alphabetical order? On what does a lever balance? What is the largest room in the game of Clue? What is the French term according to James Bond, this type of knot? What state will you find the world's tallest tree?
My name's Pat Hines. My real job at daytime is teaching. At Hallahan, it's an all-girls Catholic high school here in Philadelphia, but my nighttime job is at Quizzo. And I had that first, through college and everything like that. I started here at the New Deck, and what you would get would be kids from all over the country who would come here to play. When we first started here at the New Deck, for the first year, our entire crowd was Irish and English. No Americans played. First one, we had to go around to every single table and explain to them what the game was. And everybody was up for it eventually, but it took a long time. And that was the first 6 months. I would never have the patience for it now. No way.
So could you explain to us the rules of Quizzo, how it works?
Okay. Quizzo is a general knowledge trivia game. 4 rounds of 10 questions each. For each round, you're supplied with a sheet and pencil. We call it trivia questions. You and your teammates will get together, write down the correct answers, you hope. At the end of each round, turn those sheets in. We'll mark them, read out the correct answers, and give you your scores.
Scoring goes this way. You get 1 point for each correct answer. No points are taken off for wrong answers. So take a guess from the ball. One never knows.
Also, keep in mind the use of cellular telephones, Blackberries, iPhones, and other electronic devices are strictly prohibited. Put a team name at the top of your paper. Please put the team name and let's begin. Question number 1. Who performed the only duo with Michael Jackson on the Thriller album? A mixture of iced tea and lemonade gives you a drink named after what famous golfer? This brewing company, once half of Yards, just released its first beers. On what show did Lauren Clary sabotage her marriage last week? What are the microscopic blood vessels that connect arteries and veins? Who wrote Candide? In the opening sequence of the Brady Bunch, which character is in the middle square? What type of animals did Diane Fossey work with? All for one and one for all was the motto for what group?
I moved to Philly, I guess it was October 2001. Started waiting tables. I was making probably about $250 a week. And I waited tables for a little bit more money, but I had to dress up in a colonial outfit at the City Tavern. So that wasn't really, I wouldn't characterize that as a highlight of my life. I guess a few months after I moved here, went out to grab a drink at the Dark Horse, which at the time was the Dickens Inn, with a couple friends. Irish John was hosting Quizzo, and I'd never seen anything like it. And he was meaner than hell. So it's like, wow. I was like, I should do one of these, but, you know, be nice.
Irish people call it table quiz. I have no idea why, because people play at the bar. I have no idea what it means. I think it came from, you used to have to pay per table, a fee. But anyway, this is dead serious. One night we were sitting there and this old woman came in. She used to come into the bar all the time for her 6-pack of beer, Lower High Life. And she came in one night. We were all playing. Quizzo. It was a bonus round. Everyone's bent over. It wasn't a picture round. It was written. So everyone's sort of bent over and they're talking. And she walks in and she's like, "Is this bingo?" And my partner, this guy named Sean McLaughlin, said, "No, it's Quizzo." And that was it. Ever since then, we just called it Quizzo. And so what would happen is, I didn't hear of a Quizzo, but you'd have people come up to you and say, "Oh, I played something like this in San Francisco, or I played something like this in New York." And they were all in, expat bars. It was, it wasn't, as far as I know, we started here doing the quiz here in 1992. As far as I know, there was nobody doing quiz for Americans. I'll never lay claim to the first pub quiz in the United States, but I think we were the first that I heard of to do it for Americans.
Now, I had a sports radio show at that time that I was basically paying to be on, and I was like, oh, this would be a good way to make money for advertising for the radio show, is to do a sports quizzo. So I started doing a couple sports quizzos, and after a while I was like, the hell with the radio show. I just make the money from the quizzos. In Philly, one thing I love about this city is that it's very independent-minded, and so I think if like a corporation had come in and like started this trend, I don't think it would have been nearly as popular as it is now, because I think it would have been something that would have been fun for a while, but then people would have kind of gotten over. Whereas now you got like, okay, who do you like better, Irish John or Pat Hines or Johnny Goodtimes, or you've got your regulars that are there every week and they see each other every week, and eventually they're going to strike up a conversation, and so you get a lot of people that are just meeting each other through through this, because they're seeing each other at the same time, at the same place every week. That kind of helps define, I think, a community.
I think I do it in a very traditional way. If you were to go to Ireland or England, you'd see quiz is very serious, for the most part, especially the quiz masters. There's not a lot of, there's not even a lot of joking around. There's not a lot of banter between the quiz master and crowd. It's rapid fire questions. I mean, you would see a quiz in Ireland or England that would be 10 rounds of 8 questions each, like an 80-question quiz, no problem. And no one would think to question the quiz master or go up to him in the middle of a round, I've loosened that up a little bit, but it's funny, we didn't start getting disrespect until the Americans started playing. The Irish and English just took their medicine, and even if we had a question that might have been wrong or ambiguous, they come up and go, "Excuse me, I hate to bother you, but," and then the Americans come, "You're wrong, you're wrong."
Do you think that's Philadelphia Americans, or?
Well, that's my own experience, but it's young. It's when students are playing. I think it's Penn too. They're so competitive. Either you guys go to Penn?
All right, so I'm Eric Swanson, and I'm a research specialist at the University of Pennsylvania. I do neuropathology research. Sofa Kingdom started as we were all graduating. I had yet to get a job. I'm from Illinois initially, but knew that I wanted to stay out in Philadelphia after graduating. So was looking for gainful employment, and didn't really have much to do besides playing Quizzo. I mean, we won fairly regularly, so we were like, hey, we could make a reputation for ourselves. We were thinking, we should get our own team name, and we can be the team that gets booed every night at Quizzo when he reads off the team names. So my my friend Anthony had been in a battle of the bands, and their name was Sofa Kingdom. And I was like, yeah, no, I like that. So Sofa Kingdom it was. And it's a little juvenile, a lot juvenile. It's coming on 5 years that we've been playing pretty hardcore. Started, I guess we graduated middle of May, and then basically beginning of June, June 2003 started.
And I think at that time I was just doing Nick's Roast Beef. Did that one for a while. Then I started at Frank Clement's, which was a bar where the Good Dog is now. I started at those two places, was still waiting tables, and then eventually, picked up the Bards, picked up the Black Sheep, and after a while I was like, wow, I can actually stop waiting tables. I can actually just start doing this and make enough money to make it work. So did that for a while, and next thing you knew, I was actually paying my rent via Quizzo.
Well, so at New Deck, the first prize was $65 off your tab, and the Bards is $40. So we've probably it's up in the tens of thousands. We tried to do the calculations once. I mean, it's a little iffy, and it's probably close to 15, or maybe a little higher than that, 15,000, I guess.
Like that 2004, I guess, was the first year where I was like, wow, this might actually be, a living to some degree. I mean, obviously I don't want to, be doing this when I'm 70, but like for now, that's when I think it finally sunk in, and it was like, well, in terms of being in a big city, but it's definitely a community, which, I think fits in well with Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia is a big city driven by communities, and I think that the Quizzo community is, kind of found it's kind of become a niche of its own, where people have something to sort of relate to, like any club or a social event or sports team or what have you.
That concludes round number one, the easy round. Let's review our scores. The Western Omelets, going for their fourth consecutive win, have 11. Discipline and Punish has 11. Sofa Kingdom has 11. The Hurt Bombs, who haven't won in ages, have 11. The Marketable Commodities have 11. Ben's Associate List has 10. Your Sore Asshole has 10. Cuts That Flow is 10. Just a tip, just for a second, just to see how it feels, has 9. Urban has 9. Bottom of the food chain has 8. My girlfriend can't wrestle, but you should see her vagina, has 8. That's a pretty good one. Torture's Friendship has 8. And Far From Home has 6. We move to round number 2. 50-50 round. This is the doozy. This week's topic, dead or alive. Question number 1, F. Lee Bailey. Question number 2, Indira Gandhi. Wilson Pickett. Art Linkletter. W. Mark Felt, a.k.a. Deep Throat. Linda Lovelace, a.k.a. Deep Throat. I.M.K. Nelson Mandela. And finally, question number 10, Robert Goulet. Robert Goulet.
Okay, my name is Jason Grabowski. I've been a proud Sofa Kingdom member since the beginning. I'm a test SAT tutor, standardized test tutor. I've been doing that for getting on 8 years already. So I've got quite a bit of experience with it. So that's how I spend my days. But essentially, I read a lot. That's probably the reason why I like my job too, because I can encourage my kids to read. And so for me, my reading is why I'm good at Quizzo, because I just read a lot and I see a lot of different things that kind of stick. and I don't really do anything to prepare for Quizzo per se. And I never did that when I was in college either. I wasn't like a guy who'd memorize lists or, you know, think of trivia questions and answer that, or even play Trivial Pursuit, or even watch Jeopardy. All my trivia knowledge comes from reading.
My name is Nate DiGiorgio. I am a systems architect for the Biomedical Informatics Consortium of the University of Pennsylvania. I think that's the full title. That sounds about right. Been playing Quizzo for about 3 years now, full time, and probably 4 or 5 total, off and on before that. Initially, it was my girlfriend that suggested that I come out and play. I kind of ignored that. She would try to get me to play probably once a week, and be like, I don't really have time. In retrospect, that's pretty funny, because now she tries to get me not to play. But it was just a lot of fun hanging out with people, and we won all the time, so it was free dinner at the New Deck most of the time back then. Can't really argue with that.
Do I talk to you?
Yeah, go ahead and talk this way.
Alright. Well, my name is Ryan Crissetto, otherwise known as Coob, which is a nickname that I got. Should I explain the origin of the nickname?
Go for it.
So, back in like late 80s, early 90s, there was a show called Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and there was a character on there named Kubiak, who I kind of resemble, so once somebody in my college dorm just started calling me Coob, and it just stuck ever since. And my job is I am the house coordinator of this college house that we're sitting in right now. Basically, I do a lot of programs for undergraduate students, do a lot of administrative stuff, like pay all the bills and any other random things that come up. I knew Swanson and those guys from the Penn Band for a couple years, but I didn't really hang out with them. And then eventually, when I moved back to Philly from Boston, I found out that they were playing Quizzo, and just sort of weaseled my way in onto their team, and you know, they thought I was good enough to stay, I guess. They didn't kick me out or anything, so.
One thing that's helped from playing so long, makes this pretty good, is that you really know everybody else's sort of areas of knowledge. If a geography question or a history question comes up, we would go right to Garbo.
And I'm pretty good at history, but a lot of my history knowledge has faded. I've been out of college already for 8 years, so a lot of it, you know, when I was in college, I was really a history master. I could tell you, like, who was in the Battle of Pristina in, like, 1389 and things like that.
Like a football question might go to Nate.
I would say my specialties are sports, specifically the Philadelphia Eagles.
As far as music, like, you know, 70s music, 60s music, I'm pretty abysmal.
You know, Swanson and Coob are so good with movie trivia that it makes me kind of sad.
I guess I'm the movie guy. I mean, yeah.
I'm a huge movie buff. That's like my specialties.
And I try to pick up things that I think might come up at Quizzo. For instance, I've learned all the capitals of all the countries. You know, it comes up from time to time, so now I'm the guy that knows that.
I think the way our team works is that Swanson's our general umbrella. You know, he knows a lot about a variety of topics, and what I kind of fill in is like topics that most people our age would not know, I fill in, because again, you know, I have knowledge about things like soap operas, you know, pop music, top 40 music, MTV reality shows. This is because of the nature of my job too. Like, I deal with teenagers all the time, so, you know, to relate to them, I can't start talk about Dickens or Dostoevsky or things that I like to read or do, because they just don't care. Like, it's like, okay, the old guy is prattling on.
We don't have a mascot. I guess Coob is the closest thing we have. You know, perhaps Garbo. You know, he's he's a curiosity.
Okay, well, the 3 Quizmasters I know very well are Johnny. I know Pat Hines, who did the Fergies and New Deck Quizzo. He's kind of like the godfather of pub Quizzo, although it's, you know, it's a mixed metaphor because Irish folks aren't known for the godfather structure of the family. Yeah, but I can't think of anything better, so I'll stick with that. And also Pat's kind of a nerdy high school English teacher, but yeah, that's why we get along very well. You know, because God forbid people think I'm nerdy, you know, but like, you know.
I was telling you earlier about how the teams who play Quizzo are, you know, these kids who didn't win anything in high school and stuff like that. When I start talking about that, I talk about Garbo as my test case. I like this. I love this guy. You know, he used to come here. He came to Fergie's, and everybody loved him where he played. The waitresses down Fergie's loved him. But when he first came into Quizzo, I'll never forget. I was sitting there doing quiz. It was the winter time, and this guy walks in with a New York Giants jacket. Remember the kind where you could zip down the hood, you know, and lay it flat? It was the hood was zipped down, and he had on the two-tone hat with a little pom-pom on top. So he walks into his team, and he takes off the jacket and the hat, and I kid you not, he had on a dress shirt with a pocket protector. I kid you not, and I thought, it's a stereotypical, and just the first time you heard him talk. And he comes up and he says, in fact, the seats off, he sounded like Jimmy Stewart a little bit, you know?
Pat is very much kind of a straightforward quiz, but what he does is he gives you a lot of chance to talk out right answers. So he'll give you a question that seems very obscure, like there's no way you could possibly figure it out, but if you start to think about the clues and what's given to you in the question, you can talk out the answer. Johnny's much more of a trivia quiz. Like Johnny will ask questions like, you know, what's the first state to secede from the Union or something, and you pretty much either know that or you don't know that. With Pat, there are fewer questions like that.
You know, some people will ask questions that there's no real reason that anyone should know. Like if you're asking, like Napoleon's shoe size, or like how fast a deer can run. I mean, that's just not. That's more just everybody's going to be guessing, and it's just, you know, hey, you got it. It was a shot in the dark. But I mean, and trivia is more. It has a logic to it. You can sort of work it out. You might not know the answer right away, but there's a reason that you should be getting it.
The whole point of Quizzo is that you should have to have a reasonable amount of intelligence to do well at it, or a reasonable amount of knowledge to do well at it, but it should be something that, you know, anyone with a decent high school or college education should have a chance to win. You just shouldn't have to be like a nerd bowl or a trivia bowl, you know, kingpin to do well at it.
Quizo Bowl Aduyades is a billionaire who has been king of this country since 1946. Culyadej is a billionaire who has been king of this country since 1946.
He's filthy.
He is the longest-serving head of state in the world.
Person in the world. Yeah, at one time. Yeah, I think that's the
Country
answer.
is Steve King of.
And what makes sense, I mean, you know, the Swaziland king's not that rich, the Soto king's not that rich, and how many other absolute kings are left?
Have all right, we're perfect.
Just you, Garbo. Just you. You know, I'll be at least around for another 10 years to challenge.
I'd say the Bards is probably the best quiz in Philly.
I think Johnny Goodtimes is probably the best host that we've ever played with.
And I guess all of Johnny's quizzes.
Such a great self-promoter.
You get good, well-reasoned questions.
He makes the quiz fun.
He makes it fun and like cracks jokes, and it always has goofy little things.
That's by far the greatest number of women at his quiz.
Goodtimes adds a little flavor to it. Plus, we just like the Bards. It's, you know, smaller place. We know everybody there.
My name is Aidan O'Keefe, and I'm the bar manager here, / bartender / handyman. I pretty much do everything here at the Bards. When this bar first opened, there really was no other Irish bars in the city. The Irish pub is here, but that's not really an Irish bar. So this is the type of bar you'd drink in Ireland. I remember Johnny Goodtimes, when he just first started like doing the Quizzo thing. He came to me, and I thought it'd be a pretty good idea because it's a pretty popular thing in Ireland. I think we're pretty lucky actually, because our Quizzo crowd actually drinks beer. Because I know a few other bars in the city that they find it very hard. Like they'll have a table of 12 people sipping on 2 waters. But our Quizzo guys, they like to drink. A Quizzo night is for a bartender is like waves, because during the rounds when the quiz is being played, you know, everybody sits at the table And then when it's in between rounds with Johnny Goodtimes is it's kind of like the whole bar just all the bar just gets packed because everybody wants their drinks, and that's 3 minutes before the next round starts again. It's pretty much the same Quizzo crowd every week, so it's almost like it's a little get together of the local people. Everybody knows each other, so it's never any problem. And like I say, they like to drink their beers, which is a good thing for us.
The big teams at the Bards, which really has I think some of the best competition in the city. There's a team on Tuesday called Narcotizing Dysfunction. Hurtin' Bombs. I probably shouldn't mention them. Second, they'll get all big-headed.
Hurting Bombs are probably our biggest rival. I get a little kick out of beating them. Next, I don't like them. I love those guys, but it's something where there's a little bit of rivalry there. I'm glad to beat them. I would also say Parsa's team, the Western Omelets, a rival for us.
There's the Jams, Magma. There's a team at O'Neill's called the Young, the Old, and the Restless, who's really good. Who are really good. I'm probably forgetting someone. And then there's this team, the Champs, the team that won the first 2 Quizo Bowls, who aren't regulars at all and just randomly play quizzes and do fairly well for themselves.
Like, we know the teams at other bars that do really well, and we talk to them at the big events. But I think the Bards is the most competitive place because you have like 4 really good teams that are always there. Like Narcotizing Dysfunction plays on Tuesdays, and the Hurtin' Bombs and the Western Omelet have been playing every Tuesday and Thursday, plus us. So I feel like the other bars, they have like 1 really good team and that's it. So maybe we should go to one of the other bars and start cleaning up over there instead of trying to fight off these guys every week.
We'll be at we'll go to a random Quizzo on Sunday nights every once in a while. They'll read out Sofa Kingdom and people are like, oh, Sofa Kingdom's here. Like, oh, those guys, I hate those guys. But you definitely get a sort of reputation, among people that play Quizzo. We didn't like that people seemed to actually actively dislike us at the Bard. So we made friends with most of them. Hanging out after Quizo Bowl. And
one time I was in Washington D.C. It's a place called Adams. Madam's Oregon? It's a really famous bar in the Adams Morgan neighborhood of D.C. and they did a Tuesday Quizzo. And so I was playing by myself, and I said Sofa Kingdom was my team name. And someone who knew one of my friends knew me. He's like, oh, you're the guy from Philly, the Quizzo guy from Philly. I'm like, yes, I am. And I finished second by myself, so that's why he was kind of surprised. He's like, oh, yeah, you must be, because no one finishes second by themselves. Although I will say that quiz was nowhere near as good as any Philadelphia quiz.
The competition in other cities is weak. I mean, how can you compare to Philadelphia? Well, our city won the last, all of the city versus city SmackDown spectaculars that Johnny has run. So Philly has won all of them. We have also won all of them. They fell to the awesome power of the Sofa Kingdom and, more importantly, the great city of Philadelphia.
I'm sure there's some good teams out there.
They're probably pretty good teams.
There's, I guess, a pretty big trivia scene in Boston.
Relatively.
I know Denver has a burgeoning Quizzo scene.
I'm sure they can win plenty of quizzes in Denver, or DC, or Seattle, or Montreal. Should I keep going?
But, Philly is, far above the other cities as as it currently stands, I think.
I mean, you could say that we're the best in the country. You could say that. I mean, I wouldn't say something like that, but you could. And you probably should. But I wouldn't say something like that. Even though it's true.
And, I think Philly is where, is the heart of it all, is where it's really just, everybody does it. Every bar has a trivia night now. I mean, there's probably hundreds in the city now.
gentlemen, please give a nice hearty Philadelphia cheer to your winners and Johnny Goodtimes Quizzo Spectacular champions. Fort Awesome for the third consecutive week. They knock off Magma 97-95. Want to thank everybody for playing. Fort Awesome 2 away from a bounty. Hope to see you next Thursday night. My name's Johnny Goodtimes. Take it light.
Yeah, it was a pretty big upset though. They've won. Those guys are pretty good. They've won the last 3 weeks, but Magma's one of the top teams. So when they came in, but they haven't played in a while. They used to be one of like the regular top teams at Quizzo. And like I said, they can't. I think they actually, it was a recount. They finished 3rd last year in the Quizzo Bowl, but still pretty good. Yeah, no, they were not happy with the results of tonight's contest. Kinko's also has other perks besides the copies. Very questionable behavior right now. I'll pay him back, I promise.
I do have tickets on me tonight for Quizo Bowl 4. That is going down this Saturday night. The most prestigious Quizzo event in the world. Going down Saturday night. If you and your team would like to purchase tickets, I do have them on me tonight. It will be well worth it. Guaranteed.
You know, even though the Jams and the Sofa Kingdom read about each other on the website, they don't ever run into each other, you know? So it's kind of neat that, you know, you get these guys that have been reading about each other all year long, getting together once a year and actually throw a couple beers down and you know, shoot the shit. So, you know, to be honest, I don't know what the nexus of it was. I think it was just one of those things where it was like, you know, what's the next level? I mean, now I'm doing this thing a few times a week, you know, wouldn't it be cool if we got everybody here together? This thing's kind of a, you know, a celebration of the people, you know, of the people that do, you know, support Quizzo or support my Quizzos throughout the course of the year, and so I think a lot of them, you know, get excited about this sort of once a year thing. So, you know, you're gonna have your diehards. You're gonna have 7 or 8 teams of diehards, I'd say, and you'd have 35 teams that, you know, you want to let them at least think that they have a chance of winning the thing. But, you know, part of what you're trying to do is asking questions that not just one guy on the team's going to know. You want to ask questions that are everybody. You want everybody at the table to feel like they contributed. With Quizo Bowl, I'll be sure to have something in science. You know, I have science questions, but not every Quizzo. With this, I'll definitely have a science question. You know, I will definitely have a literature question. I'll try to be sure that all the bases of good trivia questions will be covered. I think every quizmaster knows that you can't just pull cards off Trivial Pursuit. You know, every time I see a trivia board game at a thrift store or something, I pick it up because, you know, I'm always looking for as much stuff as possible. There's a Jeopardy archive online. I'll watch reruns of Millionaire and I'll get a couple from there. And I have all sorts of crazy stuff that I use to find questions. Every year people ask, oh, can we just come and watch? And the answer is no, because you need to have a vested interest in the game. Because, you know, obviously the bane of every quizmaster's existence is the guy who shouts out answers. So if you're not in the game, you could just do that because, you know, why do you care? But yeah, for the most part, it's going to be regulars, and there's going to be a few new people checking it out. I mean, the demographics are probably about what they usually are for Quizzo, which is 25 to 35 years old. You know, I'd say probably 60% male, and unfortunately, and there might be a fair amount of nerds there as well.
Oh, did we win a lot of these? I won one where we won a lot. Oh, that's right, we win all of them. It starts with the date right here. Then the various rounds, scores for each round, the final scores, how we did, who was there, how much money we won. I'll try to note that kind of stuff. I'm gonna need a secretary. That's what we need, a Quizzo secretary. Oh, here you go. Quizo Bowl 3. So hopefully we'll have one of these that says Quizo Bowl 4 and also has us winning. That would be pretty nice.
I could be way wrong on that. It could be a really cool crowd, but I'm gonna go ahead and say no. It won't be. It will not be cool.
Let's review. Our scores in Organizing Dysfunction is 27. Sofa Kingdom is 26. Western Omelet is 24. Sequia Swatch is 24. Client 9B Sloppy Seconds of 23. I want to put you on a plate and stop you over the biscuit is 23. Eric's Folly is 20. Chixie Dicks is 20. Fat Kids Always Win at Seesaw is 20. No means yes. Yes means twice is 19. Butterflies Raped My Sister is 19. And Trango has 18. We move to round number 3, the wild card round. This week's topic, Pac-Man. Pac-Man. Question number 1, in what country was the game Pac-Man created? Pac-Man, along with this disastrous game, led to the demise of the Atari 2600. What is Pac-Man Jones's first name? Kit was not impressed when his driver played Pac-Man, saying playing a video game where circles eat blobs is hardly getting into computers. What was Kit's driver's first name? Question number 7. Oh my goodness. Sounds like question number 7 could be a weekly double. Question number 7 will be worth 6 points. I'll give you 1 point for the first 3. I will give you 3 points if you can name all 4. I think you know what's coming. What are the names of the 4 ghosts in Pac-Man?
The legendary Blue Horizon is the #1 boxing venue in the world. And we beat out Madison Square Garden, Caesars Palace, MGM Grand, and Atlantic City Convention Center. One of the reasons that we are #1 is because there is no bad seat in the house. The building was built in 1865, and it was built for the nouveau riche of Philadelphia, who were not able to live in Rittenhouse Square. The people in Rittenhouse Square, they represented the old money, and as a result, they did not want this new money coming into their neighborhood. So they decided to come up to the north end, this was all countryside then, and build these large mansions. Following that, it was purchased by the Loyal Order of Moose in 1912, and in 1914, the Loyal Order of Moose brought the 3 mansions together in the configuration that it is today. It signaled the first time that white blue-collar workers had a social environment in Philadelphia. We also have in the ballroom the last of the pull-out bandstands where your big bands, Tommy Dorsey, Ellington, all of those individuals played here. So we have fashion shows, concerts, plays, weddings, receptions, you name it, the movies. We have it all here at the legendary Blue Horizon.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot.
You know, I will say most of our slumps have been caused by like an absence of one of the core players. So maybe Koob will have a business trip with Penn somewhere, or I'll be on vacation, or I'll have my own business trip, or Swanson will have to go do a research trip. And so what happens is not the full team is playing, so we may lose 2 or 3 times and the full team's not there. Then it might take 1 or 2 more times to get back into the groove or back into, just getting more comfortable again. Because when you don't play with your team for a couple of weeks, it is a little awkward. A lot of times, when you're coming back after a couple of weeks, you want to make sure you get a big answer or help out. And a lot of times then your filter that helps you not say dumbass answers is gone. So you'll yell out dumbass answers, and that will cause you to get questions that you should get right and wrong, which has happened to us. You know, sometimes I've come back guns ablaze and I'm ready to contribute, and I'm a negative contributor. I've gotten better with that as the years have gone on.
I've heard that you're not going to be there.
I will not be there, unfortunately. Essentially what's happened is that normally Quizo Bowl, Super Bowl weekend, so I arranged my work schedule to be able to attend on Super Bowl weekend, but Johnny unfortunately could not get a venue. So he moved it to March 29th, and unfortunately I do a lot of business trips at the end of March, because a lot of times when my SAT kids are off from school, that's when I can do the business trips I need to get done. You know, I'm a little annoyed that Johnny did it for March 29th, but obviously economics rule, and he couldn't get it when we normally have the quiz. So, c'est la vie, so to speak. You know,
it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's obviously a key member of the team, so we can tough it out though. We can tough it out. That is rude. Oh, it's Coob. Yeah, what's up? I'm being interviewed. Yeah. What are you doing? You want to do something like normal people do tonight, not play Quizzo? What do you think? Yeah, me neither.
Are you still planning on teaming up with Western Omelet for the bowl?
Yeah, which I don't really feel all that great about. Parsa actually played at Bard's way before us, and he used to play with Brett and those guys at the Western Omelet, and then they just kind of stopped playing for a while. And Parsa played with us for months and months. So I kind of feel like we're the defending champs going into Quizo Bowl, so we should have our own team there, but we have a depleted roster, so it was either, try to recruit random friends or play with those guys who only really have 3 guys, and we have 5, so I guess that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, essentially we've subsumed Western Omelet, and so what's that? This has created a Quizzo arms race where other major teams are trying to consolidate, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier. So yeah, it's kind of sad in a lot of ways.
So how are you feeling about Garbo not being in the bowl?
Well, it's gonna hurt. That's the only reason why I'm sort of accepting the fact that Western Omelet is gonna play with us, because Garbo is a huge loss. Like, he knows stuff about stuff that none of us have any idea on, so that's definitely gonna be a big loss. So hopefully the 3 of those guys will be able to make up for 1 Garbo, but I don't even know if they can.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Sofa Kingdom right now. I mean, they've been getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have Garbo. And then there's this weird thing going on right now with them and the Western Omelet, where they sort of seem to be undecided as to whether or not they're going to join forces. So it's got kind of a NWA WWE feel to it, where you don't know who's going to turn bad and who's going to turn good. And I kind of don't want them to join forces, because I'd like to see a new team, win Quizo Bowl. I mean, to be honest, I like the guys for Sofa Kingdom, but, it's good for business when people see that new teams have a chance.
I understand, he doesn't want us to put together this super team, but, teams from other bars do it all the time. It's just because we've won so many big events that he doesn't, he wants us to have more competition against us, I guess.
I can't tell them what to do. For me, it'd be nice if Western Omelet became their own team.
So who would you say the top contenders are this year?
Well, if the Western Omelet steps out on their own, I think they're a top contender. The Jams usually finish in the top 5. Magma's always really good. Steve O, the team that won Tuesday, he's got those guys together, and they're obviously pretty sharp. So I think those guys have got a definite chance.
I think, I'm certainly one of the major contributors, but I think the real reason we would lose is because whenever we do lose, it's usually because we know the answer, but then we let ourselves be talked out of the answer. And it's always been a bane of mine, too. Even when I go back to college or back to high school, it was very common for me to get a 97 on a test. But it wasn't because I only knew 97% of the stuff. I knew 100% of the stuff, but I would talk myself out of 1 or 2 right answers and change them. And I think we do that too. There's also been teams that probably are smarter than us in the sense that they probably know more than we do, or maybe prepare for Quizzo. Like they may actually do some of the things I was making fun of earlier, like playing Trivial Pursuit, or going to Wikipedia and looking up all the things that happened on the particular day of the quiz or whatever. There may be teams that do that, but they may still not win because of ego problems or too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, that sort of thing. So I'd say that's why we lose. But Swanson's put a lot of time and effort into this, and he's found some good replacements, I think. So I still think we're going to come out on top when it matters.
I think that it's very unique that this is taking place in this particular venue, simply because this venue being both an entertainment facility, a facility that really supports education and knowledge. I think that just having this kind of event here signals the kind of institution that we are in terms of learning, in terms of showcasing to the public the great things that go on, not just the fist, but the head also.
I could be wrong, but I'm starting to feel like the bigger things at least are all coming together in terms of security and insurance and food and drink. We'll see. I don't know what's going on. I don't think they've even got it figured out yet. And they've only got 4 guys so far. And then, without Garbo, I definitely think that they're certainly not the favorites to win, unless if they get Parsa, Gabe, and Brett from the Almond, then I still think they got a good chance of winning. But if they don't get those guys, I think they're done. Yeah, so they sold their 100th ticket today, so that's good news. I think the online sales are starting to pick up. I'm gonna go to Dark Horse tonight, see if I can sell a few there. And I still got a lot of people that I know are going, but haven't bought tickets yet. So I'm starting to feel better about the numbers. I think for a minute there, I was like, I was nervous that the location was gonna hurt me, but it looks like it's gonna. I'm starting to feel like we're gonna get to 300. So.
I think you know what's coming. What are the names of the 4 ghosts in Pac-Man? What are the 4 ghosts? Pac-Man.
You guys figured out what your plan is yet? Saturday night?
Gabe's no longer part of our team.
You need more team chemistry with the Kingdom? Well, I mean, that's sounds like fight words to me. Now, here's another thought. Here's another thought. I don't know if Art and those guys have their full team yet, and they got a really good team. It's like Art, D-Mac, Smackdown, and a couple other people. They got. Because they thought Gabe was playing with them too. Like Gabe was like a high-priced free agent. So keep that in mind too, because that's going to be a really good team. He's in. Yeah. He'll be in. This is what Art's plan is.
But in order to get past that level, you have to put yourself in front of Kate and then shoot the dynamite.
Yeah.
Because if you shoot the dynamite, Kate
If you just shoot it, she gets hit.
Or if you try to shoot one of them, either Jack or Kate gets shot and you lose.
I can't believe I got that on the first try. As tough as the other parts seem to be. It's a video game?
Yeah. And then John Locke, as he's leaving on the boat, he looks up and sees the plane crash,
blow apart in the air.
It's like a freaking time loop thing. Right, like he sees the plane crash, and then he wakes
all of a
up
sudden
on the
he wakes up on the beach.
And the woman is still alive.
JohnnyGoodtimes.com, and I do have tickets on me. If anybody here is interested in buying them for Quizo Bowl 4, the biggest Quizzo event in the world in 2008. That will be taking place March 29th at the Blue Horizon, starring Black Elvis. Let's review our scores. The Super Duper Delegates finished with 41. Bitches, the new Black, finished with 64. Because it feels good, finished with 67. Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him, finished with 75. Hulk Smash Quizzo finished with 73.
We're all winners.
In fourth place, the Western Omelet finished with 84. The Narcotizing Dysfunction finished with 90. So it came down to two teams, came down to Lambda, and the Sofa Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Scuba Dice Party Philadelphia, boo to your winners. And Johnny Goodtimes Quizzo Spectacular Champions, Lambda. With a convincing 114-93 win. Want to thank everybody for playing. Hope to see you next Tuesday night. My name is Johnny Goodtimes. And
Hey, Steve-O. Congratulations on your win.
Why, thank you, Sarah.
I was sitting down with Sofa Kingdom, and Coop was like, oh man, Eric, Steve-O is here tonight, and he was all shit. Because they were talking about how, you play by yourself sometimes and come in first. Is this true?
I play by myself all the time, but I do, but it's never against Sofa Kingdom. It's like it's at the Good Dog where there just aren't seats available, so you almost have to reserve in advance. So it's just almost logistically the only way that I can play there, and the competition is nothing like it is here. But I had one twice in a row by myself there, which surprised me. There were some good teams there, but nothing like it was here tonight.
Sofa Kingdom is done. They're done. Yeah, Sofa Kingdom. With all these guys dropping out, they're definitely not the favorites now. The fact that they're missing, especially Garbo. Garbo, if I have a question that's covered in the almanac, Garbo's going to get it. With him not there, that's a huge loss. And then now that the Omelet defected, decided to be their own team, they're not going to have that, those guys. I think they're going down. I don't think they can win with just those 4 or 5 guys.
How many bowls have you guys attended?
This is the fourth, and we've been to all 4.
This is my third, actually.
This is my 4th one.
Oh, you've been to all of them?
Yeah.
This is the second one.
And how?
Third, I'm sorry, the third one.
The third, awesome.
Yes.
And how have you fared in other bowls?
The first time we came in 7th, last year we were 3rd.
Yeah. Came in 2nd at the first Quizo Bowl.
Fourth and second.
We won the Beat the Champs thing. We won the Beat the Champs, which was kind of like a Quizo Bowl. And we won Quizo Bowl 3. So, defending champs.
We came in 2nd last year, actually. We lost by 1 question. I think we were surprised at how close we were last year.
So were you in attendance when Johnny did his flash dance rap?
Yes, we were right up front.
And how was that?
He's quite a good quiz host.
I think it's pretty awful.
It's going to be hard to top the flash dance. That will be. Johnny Goodtimes did a dance to flash dance.
So what are you expecting out of the entertainment tonight?
Well, it's special again.
I'm calling some kind of parody of Mama Said Knock You Out. That's what I'm calling.
That's a good bet.
Because it's at the Blue Horizon. Yeah.
Well, good luck tonight, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
very much.
welcome. Thanks.
All right.
Good evening and welcome to the legendary Blue Horizon for Quizo Bowl number 4. How's everybody feeling? Ready to take down the Sofa Kingdom?
Brew the first batch of in Atlanta on this date in 1886. Question number 2. In what number WrestleMania did over 93,000 people fill the Detroit Silverdome to witness Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant? Many people think the term upset in sports comes from the time a horse by that name defeated what famous horse? In what country is the city of Mecca located? Who was born in the state that won 511 games pitching in Major League Baseball? Which of the following is not the name of a space shuttle? Is it A, Discovery, B, Endeavour, C, Atlantis, or D, Voyager? What toy company makes Barbie dolls? This building in Westminster is home to the annual summer proms. They are annual classical concerts.
Gentlemen, Black Elvis. He's the only one that's still living.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's review number 1. What did John Pemberton brew the first batch of in Atlanta on this date in 1886? That was Coca-Cola. It was WrestleMania 3. Man o' War. Saudi Arabia. That was Cy Young. D. Voyager. Royal Albert Hall. That is Mattel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we actually only have one perfect score at the end of round 1. The lovely Ginger will now tell us what team that was. Ginger?
That is the Dork-Sided.
Dork-Sided with a score of 13 has the lead. Interesting note, I don't see Sofa Kingdom anywhere on the top 10. Which I know has tonight's crowd a little bit upset. Hey. Let's move now to round number 2, the 50-50 round. This year's topic, before or after the Blue Horizon was built. Before or after 1865. Question number 1. Tom Thumb gets married. Brooklyn Bridge is opened. Jesse James pulls off the first train robbery. Marx and Engels write the Communist Manifesto. Dickens writes A Tale of Two Cities. Woodrow Wilson is Lord. That concludes round number 2. When you are finished, please hand your papers right over here to the lovely Ginger. Also one of my best friends here in Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the very talented Chip Chantry!
Hey, who wants to hear Johnny Goodtimes rap again? Me neither. All right, let's get started. Halloween is the greatest day of the year when you're a kid. But when you're a kid the day after Halloween, worst day of the year. Because if you remember back, the day after Halloween is as close as you can get to having a hangover when you're 6. You wake up the next morning, your stomach hurts, you got a headache, you're half dressed like Dracula for some reason, you're like, what happened? I was bobbing brownies and I passed out. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Quizo Bowl for welcome to the legendary Win.
How do you get a Drexel student off the porch? Pay for the pizza.
I stole this from the Philadelphia Police Department. They still don't know it was me. They got nothing to go on. Your mother. Any Catholics here? Here, pass this around. All right? Okay. We're going to make a collect phone call. Here's a comedian with very bad breath. Hi. Oh, give me a hand for the comedian with bad breath. I'm in a freaking new horizon.
All right, let's review the answers for round number 2, and then I've got some really bad news. All right. Question number 1, Tom Thumb gets married, that was before. Brooklyn Bridge was opened, and that was after. That was before. That was after. That was before. Before. That's right. The Grammy Awards, that was before. That's fucking perfect, baby. All right, let's review our scores. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the bad news comes in. I want you guys to go ahead and let me know how you feel about this. In first place, with a score of 34, is the Sofa Kingdom. Yeah! Go back to back. And second is North-Sided with 33. Of course, we've seen the King. Like Elvis, we are also in the legendary Blue Horizon. So round number 3 will be Kings and Legends. Question number 1. King Gustav III was shot and killed while at a masquerade ball on this date in 1792. What country was Gustav the king of? Oh my goodness, sounds like question number 10 is going to be a weekly double. Question number 10 will be worth... Jack Lemmon's last movie before his death was this one. Jack Lemmon's last movie before his death.
No, it has to have king or legend.
Oh, right.
Tuesdays with Lori.
Yeah, I was thinking that's
It's got to be like 2000.
Yeah.
I mean,
when did he die? 2000?
He died closer to 2000.
I agree. Yeah, he died right after Walter Matthau. It has to be king. He didn't say king or legend in the question, right?
Is it like the legend of something? Legend of
He did inherit the wind on TV.
Yeah, that probably doesn't
shit.
count. Think of Kingdom or something.
Oh yeah, King.
Kingdom? The King of Comedy, King Arthur.
Did he do like a movie where he was like an old, like wise grandpa or something? I mean, Inherit the Wind is...
That's a TV movie, though.
Yeah.
You don't think it's like because he's a legendary actor or something?
Oh. Can you think of a legend, a movie with legend in the title? Legends of the Fall, Legends of something like that?
The Legend of something?
Anything with legend in the title?
The Legend of Bag of Bands. Was he in that? Was he? Would have been the right times. Matt Damon, Will Smith. You got two kings in the answer.
Another
one legend.
legend of.
That's not bad. He wasn't in Bag of
He's
Bands,
not in
right?
it.
I never saw it.
Yeah, no, me neither. He's not in it.
And Nate is kind of annoying sometimes because he knows a lot more than he lets on. A lot of times he knows the answer, but like maybe I'll throw out an answer or Swanson will throw out an answer, and he automatically kind of devalues his own guess, and he shouldn't do that. I think one of our theories is that when you're the normal guy in a group around of dorks, you kind of start to think, well, the dorks must know a lot more than I do, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. If we don't have anything, I guess go with like Inherit the Wind.
Was that really a movie?
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Gotta turn it in.
what
What should we put? Inherit
the Wind.
Judges right over here. And without further ado, let me please bring to the stage once again the legendary Black Elvis.
Did you guys get the movie? Jack Lemmon? He's not in that. Is he?
He's the young kid, the guy who was supposed to be the cat.
Oh, fuck. Oh, god damn it, that's right. Yeah.
Of all this fucking things that you could miss.
Oh,
Fuck!
no.
It was
Yeah.
the fucking Legend of
Yes. He was at the. Oh, god damn it, we should have put that.
I never saw it. I asked you if that was it. You
I
said
didn't
no.
know. I didn't know.
Fuck.
Shit, I'm sorry, that's my fault.
That's bad.
Oh, well.
It was right around that time. It had Legend in it. We knew better.
Well, we should have put that.
I never saw it.
No, Dan, you're right.
Did you see it?
I did see it. He's at the very, very end. He plays like the kid. Shit. We should have gone with that.
It made sense because it was Legend, and it was right around that time.
That's right when it came out too. That's totally I fucked that up.
Ah, well.
Oh man. Yeah, whatever. I totally remember that now. He's the fucking kid. I know we should have. And I was the one that was arguing that we should put something with King or Legend. Oh.
All right, let's see how you did in round number 3, the wild card round. What is Jack's last name in The Shining, written by Stephen King? That is Jack Torrance. Jack Torrance. Question number 9, who had daughters named Goneril, Regan, and Cordelia Van, of course? King Lear. Question number 10. Jack Lemmon's last movie before his death was in this one. That is The Legend of Bagger Vance. The Legend of Bagger Vance. All right, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, you might want to go ahead and nurse those beers. I thought 7 kegs was going to be enough even for you alcoholics, but apparently not. We're running a little short. So, no, I know, I'm an asshole. I only got you 7 free kegs of beer. Yeah, sorry. I'll do better next year. Okay, no, seriously, go to hell. And let's review our scores. Landa has the lead with 71. That's interesting because in 4th place, the most beloved Philadelphia Quizo team, Sofa Kingdom, is in 4th place with 67. Dorkside has 66. Rob Zombies has 66.
We should be. Let's just win the fucking thing.
Let's just get them
How
all
about we
right.
do that?
Let's just get them all right.
I'm in.
We move now 7 consecutive $100 million movies until this 2004 remake ended his streak. At what university did Theodore Kaczynski teach? How much blood is in the human body? In what country will you find the River Kwai? What Portuguese explorer had a ship called the Victoria? MASH had the highest rated finale ever in terms of numbers of viewers. What is second?
I don't know about the Tonight Show.
Well, the question really is then, did Seinfeld beat Cheers? And you think that it did?
I'm almost certain that Seinfeld beat Cheers.
Alright, we're gonna do it.
We'll go with number 12. Eight, I'm a little worried on. Da Gama is the really famous Portuguese one.
No, because if we erase it, no, I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that.
Let's not talk to people. I don't want to find out if we love it. We have got a winner. Why don't we review these answers first and then figure out who it is? We have 5 members of Phillies have retired. They're number 1, number 14, number 20, number 32, and number 36. That is the University of Cal Berkeley. Number 4, A, 5.5 years. In what country we find the River Kwai? That is Thailand. That's it. Question 3. What Portuguese explorer had a ship called the Victoria? That was Magellan. Steve's Question number 10. MASH is the highest rated finale ever in terms of viewers. What was second? Was it A, Cheers, B, Seinfeld, C, Friends, or D, The Tonight Show? The correct answer, A, Cheers. I think a lot of things. Question number 11. What was the first name of Ulysses S. Grant when he was born? That was Hiram. I think Steve's team. All right, let's review our top 10. The Wombat Tidal Wave, L. Ron Hubbard's Diabetics, the Hurt Bomb, the Waverly Street Bloodhounds, Archie Hamburger's Blowback, the Reservoir Dogs. In 4th place, an impressive performance by Magma. Magma finishes 3rd last year, 4th this year. Very good performance from Magma. In 3rd place, Rock Zombies finished with 115. Original Chance wins the first 2 Quizo Bowls. Randall won. So it came down to 2 teams. Let's bring the trophy up to the stage. I know, it's a huge trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, my mother!
Their trophy's bigger than ours. I want a big giant trophy. Damn it. Was it really close? What was the score? We don't even know.
They finished by 10.
Oh, really?
We blew a 6-point question, Legend Bag Advance.
Okay.
Yeah, so that kind of hurt us.
Hey, they got a good team.
Yeah, they're good. They came in second last year.
They almost beat us last year. Although we're still trying to figure out how Fifth got a gift certificate and we didn't get anything.
The real challenge now will be getting that money from Goodtimes.
Yes.
So tell us about the Quizo Bowl.
Boy, that's open-ended. We lost. We came in second place, which makes us the first loser.
When you're playing against that many great teams in the city and we're already defending champs, second's not bad. 1 or 2 questions is going to make or break the whole thing, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. What was the 6-point question?
How could I forget?
What was it, Coop?
That would be, what was Jack Lemmon's last film role?
Yeah, which is
and in the Legends and Kings round. And we put Inherit the Wind, which a TV movie and had nothing to do with Legends or Kings.
Right, see, had I been here, I would have known Legend of Bagger Vance. But alas, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure. I asked him on the phone right afterwards, and he didn't say.
I didn't get the
that.
I didn't get the clue that it was Legends and Kings.
You know, you think about other questions, you get distracted, and sometimes you talk out of your ass.
And we also missed the second highest rated TV finale after.
And we missed the Magellan question, which was also frustrating.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Did you guys put down like Bartholomew Diaz?
No, we went with
Vasco
da Gama.
That's a fair guess.
Yeah.
That was the frustrating thing about the Quizzo Bowl was that like those. Count the Legend of Bagger Vance question, the TV show, and the Magellan question. We had narrowed it down to like
the two
answers.
Really, yeah.
And didn't put the right one.
How soon after the crushing defeat did you find out?
I called, you know, as soon as the quiz was over, you know, I was very eager. Now, I was a little drunk at that point, and then we were defeated. I was thinking the parking lot of the Ocala Ale House going, no! And my friend down there was like, what's going on? Did something happen with your niece or your mother? I was like, no, I don't care about that. We lost the quiz. You know?
You've got to be on like flyers somewhere, like a post office or something.
It's possible.
How is that?
It's possible. See, I'm a man of disguise, you know? Right now I have my glass up. Oh,
look at this guy.
And Dork-sided. Who are you guys rooting for? Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice hearty Philadelphia boo to your winners and Johnny Goodtimes Quizzo Bowl 7 champions, Sofa Kingdom! Sofa Kingdom defeats Dork-sided 128 to 123.
My favorite answer of all time, which was, what was the name of the first dog in space? Laika, right? The Russian dog. But one of the answers was Sputnik.
Usually every year I do some sort of musical interlude myself. I'm not really much of a singer, but
but I'm quite a rapper.
Johnny loves rap. Johnny was a rapper himself. Scary to think of that, but he was. It's like Vanilla Ice and Snow, but watch out. It's like, Johnny rapping. But anyhow, it's a tangent.
He's actually not that bad. Like he's done parodies of raps where he'll rap to like the tune. He did like one to the tune of Big Papa, but it was like Quiz Papa.
I mean, he's really the best out there that I've heard, at least from Philadelphia. Stuff to compare. He's got style. He's got it all.
Have you heard his stuff?
No. No, I haven't.
Is that JGT? Yeah, you know it's gotta be. I went to jail once, but I was playing Monopoly. People always asking, am I blowing up? I guess I mean suicide bombers strap my rhymes to their chest. So don't disrespect or contest the best, cause I expect to be fresh until the day of my death. Yes, yes.